To say that pro cycling in the United States has taken a step backwards in recent years would be an understatement. With several team sponsors stepping down in 2019, a diminished racing calendar, and zero marquee riders at the international level, bike racing has been reduced to little more than a fringe sport. I'd say that most Americans have little understanding of the sport of cycling. On the surface, it's very simple. The first person across the finish line wins. But how that happens can be quite confusing and complicated. Cycling is an individual sport, but it's also very team-based. When a rider wins, there's a lot that goes into that, from teammates who will pull in the wind to shelter them from behind. You have a director maybe driving in the car behind, relaying information and helping to provide support if they flat. There's support staff on the side of the road who are giving the riders food and fluids. And then before that, there's coaches and physiologists and family members who help support the rider and get them to the race. I'd say the biggest problem with cycling in the US is that there are no elite level riders for people to root for. People who can consistently win big races. And a big part of why that is that there's no real development programs in the US. Right now, the process consists of looking for talented athletes and then just racing them along. But that doesn't really yield the really high level performances that are required to win big races. What I'm working on here at Semper Porro is a comprehensive development program. The athletes that I work with, I teach them everything from training to nutrition. We're covering aerodynamics and working on equipment choices. We are drilling down into the fine details of tactics and all of the basic parts of execution and process. All right, Justin is back, and we are getting back to it. Start of a new year. What are your thoughts going forward? It's been 2 years now.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next year. Not many people can say they have Cory Lockwood as a leadoff guy.
This is true. Cory and Dino.
And Dino, and Rex,
Yeah.
and Joey,
Yep.
and Raul.
It's going to be pretty fierce. All right, so we're just adjusting Justin's fit. It's been several months, and as I've often said, you've got to always check and adjust the fit. Fit it, you check. Fit it, you check. And front end looks good.
Yeah, these new bars are great.
Yeah. I need to get a set of those for Cory.
Yeah.
Go ahead and stop at the bottom. Gonna check your angle here. Alright. So we have moved Justin up quite a lot. That's a crazy amount, like, I don't know, 2.5 centimeters. So I don't know if his saddle slipped or he grew, but this is why we check the fit regularly.
So rails were a little too far back too.
Yep. So we just had to adjust things and check and see kind of where everything is at.
All right, it's about 6:30 this morning. We're just here in the shop right now. I was actually walking over to the toolbox to get some parts to work on the Garmin 510 before I roll out the door here in a little bit. Just had my coffee for breakfast, and coffee for breakfast. So I was looking at the toolbox here, and it gave me an idea to do a quick little video. It's been a little bit. So, as a professional cyclist, I've learned that there is a time and a place for everything. Just like there's a tool and an application for each one of them. And the better you get as a cyclist, the bigger your toolbox becomes. Pretty soon, you have all these drawers full of tools, where most people just start out with like something like the file. As you become better, you realize that each person possesses a tool and they're really good at it, and you can learn these tools from people, and pretty soon you have drawers full of tools. And this is kind of an analogy, tools being like, you know how to do fasted riding, kind of like what I'm doing this morning, you burn calories, or you know how to gain muscle in the gym, or you know how to do a specific type of interval, or you know how to, work on your bike very specifically, or techniques of setup, and all kinds of things like this. And pretty soon, over the years, you have a massive toolbox of tools at your disposal, only specifically being skills. You have a massive set of skills as a cyclist, and it makes you very, very good. So right now, I'm working on some tools this morning. Going out 6:30 this morning, getting out and getting the riding in.
Just got back from a little 2.5-hour cruise on the new TT bike. I am dialed, ready to go for tomorrow's CT. Now I just got to set the bike up, take those off, take that off. But first things first. John Fry, the legend, the 40K record holder, checking out my bike. I believe you used the word cute.
29 years ago.
You said it was a cute bike?
Oh, I like. Look at that thing. It's very cool. You could use lighter. Everybody could use lighter tires.
7 a.m. in Silver City. It's misting. It's like 50. Wait, what was the temperature?
46.
46 degrees. Time to heal a monster.
Sometimes people don't realize the attention to detail that goes into being a professional bike racer. Riding is just part of it. Then there's the nutrition aspect, the bike setup aspect, and all kinds of things. So right now, just making the right food so that I can recover from today and perform tomorrow.
So for 2019, we actually started training back in kind of May, June, and then we really got into the swing of things in July and August. And right now, we are steadily, chipping away at what we need to accomplish for next year. Some of the riders, they had weight goals that they needed to work on. Cory Lockwood, for example, who had a very good year in 2018. He was racing at about 168 pounds, and it was very important that we got his weight down so that he could perform better. And then other riders were working on building fitness and really shifted the training style and plan for a lot of the riders that are new to the program. Joey Bacala, Rex Roberts, Raul, Arias. So one of the things that we work on that's really important is power. Now, all riders, they use a power meter, which measures how much energy they're able to produce while they're pedaling. And it gives us a number in watts. And then if we break it down in terms of the specific time and then divide by their weight, it gives us this basic number. Really all this is just telling us how strong they are. And to be competitive at definitely the domestic level or the world level, you need to have numbers that are kind of hovering up in this range. So if we go over here and we look at like Cory when he first started, he had solid numbers that were decent, and they kind of corresponded like right around in here, Cat 1 or Domestic Pro. But last year we were able to bring his 20-minute power from here, 417 up to 438. His weight went up a little bit, and in fact it was possibly even a little higher than this, 77 kilograms, not 76. So that's something that we are wanting to work on this year. And right now he's hovering at about 155 pounds. So he's lost about 12 pounds, 12 to 13 pounds. And we're actually going to bring it back up in a little bit and see if we can get his power back up to about like 440, 450 while he is at a weight of about 72 kilograms. So the goal is to be just a little bit stronger this year, but then also a lot lighter. And Justin is another rider. When he started 2 years ago, he was a young kid and weighed 115 pounds, so super light. And he had decent power, but in the course of the years that have transpired, we've been able to bring his sprint power up to 1300 watts for 5 seconds. And that kind of corresponds with the high end of the World Tour right up here. But he still has a long ways to go in terms of bringing this total power up. If he wants to be a decent sprinter, he's got to get this up to like 1600 watts. And his weight's going to come up as well as we hit the gym. So kind of just running through the numbers on all of the people that I coach. Everybody is, you know, pretty average, pretty unremarkable in terms of their power. They're good racers, but they kind of hang out right in here. So if you really want to win, you've got to get your power up into this top line. So there's a lot of work still in front of us, and right now we're just very much in the thick of things in terms of training for 2019. But so far everything is on track and everybody's looking awesome. And the goal now is really to just keep that momentum going as we continue in the next weeks and months, so that when 2019 rolls around and racing season starts in February, we are ready to rock and roll and really put the hammer down. Hey, thanks for watching this volume of the SPC. For further information, you can check us out at semperporro.com. You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Take care out there and be sure to keep the rubber side down.
It's okay, buddy. I'm not gonna hurt you. Have a good day. Hey, Jordan. Look, it's you.
Hey, Justin.
What? I got beat by a 6-year-old.
How?
Oh, that was awkward.